Apollo FinTech. Basically, our story starts around 5 years ago. We set out with an obsession to build a blockchain that could truly facilitate mass adoption. When we started work on Apollo blockchain, we saw that in the market, the main issues with competing blockchains were blockchain bloat, high fees, and limited transaction processing. It was clear that mass adoption would not be sustainable with most blockchains that were available at the time. At the beginning, we focused our efforts almost exclusively on the two biggest barriers in blockchain functionality, which were speed and sustainability. Our top goal was to reduce the transaction time to at least 2 seconds or less safely. So once this was accomplished, our top goal became to create indefinite sustainability through the implementation of database sharding. So instead of creating a single monster database, we created a system that cut the database into many easy to access shards, each with 750,000 blocks of data apiece. In 2019, we became the first blockchain to successfully implement database sharding, and it's been running smoothly ever since. So now that we had developed a blockchain that can handle the load required for millions of consecutive users, we started focusing everything on developing technology that utilized that blockchain to break down the core barriers to mass adoption and designing a currency with the characteristics that would be required to gain global acceptance, even in continents like Africa. We knew that we needed a cryptocurrency that had a much more stable price. So a person in sub-Saharan Africa doesn't wake up one morning and see their account at a 90% loss. Major dips would seriously stifle acceptance. We knew that we needed a currency that would be more stable than others, but we wanted to give it the ability to grow in value as well, so that it would incentivize its use as a reserve currency or anchor currency. Basically, people would rather have their funds stored in a more stable currency with a fixed supply that generally goes up than their own currency, which suffers from heavy inflation. So the currency we designed to meet this role is gold secured currency, or GSX. There's a massive distrust at the moment in Africa, especially regarding cryptocurrencies. This is because some of the recent multi-billion-dollar pyramid schemes like MTI took payments in Bitcoin and really ruined the name of cryptocurrency. And because Africa is our initial market, we knew that we needed to design GSX with a strong emphasis on mechanisms that helped build trust. Some of these mechanisms are, it's trust backed. So even if something happens to us, the assets will be sold and distributed through GSX to the holders. It has backing, and that backing grows. GSX is backed by assets, and it boasts a growth plan that uses profit to expand those assets continually. It has a dedicated company behind it with 24/7 phone support. It has real use cases and a mass adoption vision. Going into that vision, I want to discuss the main use cases we've developed to make GSX a mainstream currency and how it's becoming a real currency used for everything from gasoline to vegetables to paying for rent. We're hitting the two main avenues where money flows in the banking sector and in peer-to-peer payments. So our first use case is our Gsx Banking Platform. We've developed the Gsx app with the vision of becoming a globally used payment system for GSX. We're doing just this by destroying the two main barriers of digital currencies. Number one, accessibility. We saw that in many continents, there were millions in rural areas that did not have adequate access to onboard and create a digital account, and certainly not to deposit and manage funds regularly. For this reason, we developed the Gsx Banking App with not only a local agent system, but a scratch-off top-up card system, which we have called Cash Card. By utilizing innovative ways for people to not only onboard onto a digital system, but maintain their account, you open up digital finance to the masses. So even in the most remote areas of the world, people can onboard, deposit, and withdraw. The second major barrier to a cashless society and the mass adoption of blockchain payments is usability. We saw usability as one of the biggest barriers because in many countries, laptop or smart device usage is still below 50% of the population, and consistent internet can be few and far between. We found that in many nations in Africa, this disenfranchises a large percentage of the population. So that anyone, even if they have a $3 flip phone, can not only create an account, but they can use it and maintain it. We believe that we are one of the only options that could work in a situation where a nation is wanting to completely move away from paper money and toward a completely cashless economy. Currently, we're working in Southern Africa, and we have developed a great base already. We're working to expand the region, and we have seen great results so far. The second major use case is in international bank-to-bank payments. We've spoken to a large number of banks and central banks. One core fundamental request from the vast majority of these institutions was a system for quick, inexpensive cross-border payments. And it's for this reason we have dedicated the last 3 years to developing Knoxwire, which we recently launched with Knoxwire.com. Knoxwire is our answer to the vast majority of the issues of systems like Swift. In the same way that we worked with digital payments and made them simple and easy for the unbanked, we wanted to do the same thing for cross-border transactions for institutions and governments. We saw the current system as clunky and inadequate in today's financial system, a situation where currencies move percentage points in a day as inflation rises, and the cost of living faster than most people can adjust. Taking 5 days to settle a cross-border transaction, and in some cases as much as 14, is a major barrier in a nation's economic growth. To tackle these issues, we developed Knoxwire with a bi-directional financial messaging system and a global payment network built on a distributed ledger technology. To tackle these issues, we developed Knoxwire with a bi-directional financial messaging system and a global payment network built on a distributed ledger technology. We designed Knoxwire to lower the time it takes to send international payments from days down to seconds. Even sending an off-network transaction to the majority of the world's financial institutions can be done in the same business day. Gsx helps to connect currency markets quick and functions within Knoxwire as an intermediary currency option for quick cross-border payments. Leveraging the stability of Gsx, banks are able to use Gsx to maximize their capital and minimize pre-funding. What Knoxwire does is not only open up economies to a fast, reliable remittance, but it sets a completely new standard for international payments altogether. One that banks will either need to adopt or face the potential of being left behind. So in summary, our Gsx banking application and Knoxwire both serve different purposes, but they're both designed around making blockchain mass adoption possible, both in the banking sector and in the consumer market. We believe that by continuing this path and utilizing this technology, that Gsx will be the first globally used cryptocurrency. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. Hopefully, I was able to shed some light on not only our vision, but how we plan on making that vision a reality. Have a great day.
Boom.